Hi, so in this video, we are going to start to key in some data into our worksheet. Okay, so first thing is to start keying the data into any cell, all you have to do is select that particular cell and start typing. So hello. So the moment you start typing, the data will be stored into that particular cell. So in this case, at H7, you can see the content is hello. The thing is, if you want to continue your hello, maybe you want to say like hello there, or should I say hello there? Hello there. If you want to continue to type in hello there, and then you select the cell again. If you type in there, it will replace the original content. Now, why does that happen? Because for Excel, when you click on the particular cell and start typing, it will just erase everything in that particular cell and rewrite the data. So if you just want to continue, what you need to do is double click. Double click there, you can see the cursor of typing there. So you can start to type in. So if I want to start at the beginning, so I go back, Alright, so I navigate my cursor to the beginning of the text and I got hello there. Or another way of doing this is just click inside the formula bar here. So, hello there. How are you doing, for example? Okay, so that's the first thing that you should know about how to start keying data into a cell. So let's key in some real data now. Not real lah, some dummy data. So let's just imagine that you and a group of your friends want to organize a trip, maybe to some island, Pulau Tioman. So you are responsible for keeping track of how much that you guys have saved for up to a particular month. So let's name our table like a group trip. A group trip to Pulau Tioman. Yay! Oops. So go to the end. Yay! So when I click outside of this cell, you can see that somehow this one gives the impression that my content take up the space from A2 until B2. But as you can see, that's not exactly the case. Why? Because when I click on B2, you can see the content is actually empty. And C2 also empty. D2 is also empty. So actually group trip to Pulau Tioman is the content only for A2. So to avoid any confusion, you may want to reformat this whole thing. So how to do that? You can select the row because you can do this if you do not want to expand. If you do not want to resize the width of your column A. If you do not want to resize it, for some reason, you just want it to be like that. So what you can do is you can say that, since this particular content actually take up space until D2, what I want to do is to let it actually take up space until D2. So I select all the cells from A2 until D2. And what do? I go to here, Home tab, and merge and center. Click on this tool. Alright, so now I can see that it already merged, it already combined A2 until D2 into just one cell and call it A2. So when I go to the next cell, now it becomes E2. Okay? Alright, and also by default, the moment you press on merge and center, it will format your cell to be at the center. This one is to center. This one is the alignment. Alright, this one is for the vertical alignment, top, middle, or low, or bottom. And this one is the horizontal alignment. Horizontal alignment is whether on the left, in the middle, or on the right. Okay, so now let's say our target is, let's put some target. Our target is 600. Alright, so later we'll see the usage of this target. So now I want to start to key in some data. So I need to start with the title of our table. So the field name of our table. So maybe I want to key in some first name. Now when I want to go to the next column, I can press on the tab button. Okay, I press on the tab button and it will go to the next column. Now what if I want to go back? I can press on Shift tab. So basically tab is to traverse the row and shift tab is to go back within the same row. Now what if I want to go down? To go down, I can press enter. Enter will go down the column. And what if I want to go back up the column? I can press shift enter. So basically, shift is to go the opposite way. Okay, so let's make a summary here. So if I want to traverse across the row like that, I should press on the tab key of your keyboard. If I want to go back of the row, I should press the shift key and the tab key at the same time on your keyboard. If I want to go down, I press enter. If I want to go back up, I should press shift and enter key on your keyboard. Alright, I hope that's clear. Okay, now let's continue to key in our data. Oh, before that, why would I want to press tab? Okay, another way of pressing tab, you can also use your arrow key. So to the right, down, up, and left. The arrow key on your keyboard, you can also use it. But I do not want to use my arrow key, but instead I want to use my tab. Why do I want to use tab? Okay, so here's the trick. When you press tab on for your spreadsheet and then you press enter, so currently I'm at cell I6. Instead of going to I7 when I press enter, it will actually go down to A7. Why does that happen? Why it happen that way? Because the way Excel works, if you press enter, it will actually go down the column that you start to press the tab button just now. So since when I start to press tab button when I was at column A, so when I press enter, it will go down column A. So if I start to press tab at column H, the moment I press enter, it will go down column H. Okay, I hope that clear. So now let's key in our data. So first name, I want to key in last name. Then the month that I start to that we start to collect our payment. Alright, our saving for our trip. So let's say I start with January. Now I can go to the next column and key in February. But there's another shortcut for Excel where when you key in months, for example, and you hover to the lower right corner, you can see that the cursor turn into a plus sign there. Turn into a plus sign. A plus sign here means that it's going to increase the value. So since this is January, when you click and drag, it will become February, March, April, May, and June. So I release and it will fill up the cell like that. So, and it will also follow the format of the cell, the initial cell. So since I use a short form of a month, for the rest of the cell, we'll also use a short form of the month. So if I use here a full name, let's say January, and I drag it down, it will also follow the same format of the full name of the month. Okay, so now I want to start key in the data for my first name. So let's say we have Ahmad as our first name, and Omar. Alright, and in January, let's say he paid up 100. In February, he paid up 50 ringgit, and then 70, and then 80 ringgit, and then 90, and then in June, he paid back to 100. So now when I press enter, can you guess what's going to happen? Yes, it will go down the first name column. So enter. Now I can key in the second name already. So let's say I have Siti Jamal here. Alright, so I'm going to stop. I'm going to pause this video a little bit and we're going to continue once I'm done keying all data for this trip. Okay? Okay, so now we are back. As you can see, I also adjusted. I finished filling up our table already. And you can see that I adjusted some value to make it looks more realistic. Okay, I also want to change our target to just 500, for example. And you can see that I leave out for Siti Jamal. I do not key in the data for March until June. Why do I do that? Because I want to show you some automate feature of Excel that can automatically fill up your cell. So for example, if I have 50 here, value 50 here, and I select some cells of the same row and I press Ctrl R, it will fill up the rest of the cells with the value of this the initial cell that you select. So if I go down and I press Ctrl D, it will fill up the rest of the cell in the same column. So as you can guess, if I select a whole range, alright, this one is a range. When you select more than one cell, it is a range. This one is also a range, but this is a range of the same row, and this is the range of the same column. So later we'll talk more about range, but for now, I want to focus on the automate fill. So now if I select a range of columns and rows, what's going to happen is when I press Ctrl R, it's going to fill up the rest of the row, only the row, not the column. But now when I press Ctrl D, now it will fill up the rest of the cells for each column. So for column L, I have the initial data 50. So that's why you can see it fill up the rest of column L with the value of 50. And for this column M, it will fill up the rest of column M with the data of 50 as well. So in short, when you want to do an automate fill of the row, you should press on the Control button and R. Control key and R, and you want to go to fill up on the rest of the column, you should press on the Control key and button and key D. Okay, hopefully that one is clear as well. So now let's see for this particular, so I'm going to delete this. Alright, now comes back to Siti Jamal here. So another feature of Excel is that just now if I hover down here, you can see the plus sign there, and I drag it down, I can also fill up the rest with the same figure. So meaning if I do not want to select them and press Ctrl R, I can also opt to click when I see the plus sign and drag it down. Now it will fill up the rest of the cell with the same figure as well. Okay. Now there's something else also to this automate fill. So what if when I hover on the lower right corner and I also press on the Control key. The moment I press on the Control key, you can see there's an additional small plus sign appear on the top right corner of our bigger plus sign. Okay, so now I'm going to show you again. Control. Okay, the moment I press Control, you can see the small plus sign there. So when I press Ctrl and I see the small plus sign there, and I want to drag this down. When I'm going to drag this, it's going to increase it by 1. So 50 becomes 51, 51 becomes 52, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is good if you want your value to increase by 1. But for my case, Siti Jamal apparently she paid consistently 50 ringgit per month until June. Alright, so I'm going to stop here for this part of the video, and in the next video I'm going to show you more on maybe a formula and a whole lot more on formatting in Excel. Okay, until next video, bye, thank you.